What's up, guys? It's your boy Jamaica here, coming at you with another deck tech. You're gonna get sick of this, but this is Hypergenesis, but different. It's HyperWave, because now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. So everyone's been really sideboarding against building his deck. Finally, the deck has gotten the respect that it needs. So people are bringing in counter spells, flash fuses are everywhere, evasive surgeries, silence on one side. I saw someone playing this card Dispersal Shield. It's just 2-mana counter spells. They're all counter to Hypergenesis. It's ridiculous. So many counter spells have been happening. So what do you do if you're a Hypergenesis fan like myself? What do you do? Well, you gotta bob and weave, man. You gotta just like get around a couple things. You gotta get a little weird. So now what we're doing, Hypergenesis, is that I've also jammed Parallax Wave Feldar Guardian combo into the deck. So if you don't know what that is, basically you have a Parallax Wave in play, and you play a Feldar Guardian. You use the Feldar Guardian's trigger to target the wave, and with that on the stack, you exile the Feldar Guardian with the wave, and then you get an infinite loop of stuff. So if you have any enter the battlefield effects that you can loop it with the wave, then that'll just go infinite. So the deck's kind of built around that, sort of, but you still have the kind of like dumping big idiots into play. So we'll just get all of that in a second. Let's talk about the mana real quick. The mana is not too much different from what it is before, but now we're playing basics, forests and plains, and we've moved to the Seaside Citadels. I actually am more Bant colored splash red. I'm not really trying to play red spells, so I still have the 4 Maroon's Court. It's the only 5-color land in my deck because of what we're trying to do with everything going on. So we still got Hypergenesis. We still have the 8 Cascaders. No, not really a multicolored deck anymore. We're now sort of like a half hybrid between Hypergenesis and the Parallax Wave combo with a sideboard plan in mind to beat control decks. How do you do that, you say? Well, first of all, let's talk about the wave combo. Like it's just another combo that you play out of nowhere. Sort of, you can just kind of go like turn 4 wave, like turn 5, maybe like a Pure Strider or something like that, which like has an inner battlefield effect of doming your opponent. And then you go Feldar Guardian, and then the game is over. Just randomly, the game is over. You can just do that, or you can still turn 3 Sunlight into like some stuff. But the turn 3s are not like a really guaranteed kill. You still have like setups with like Wave Guardian and like Hellkite, or like if you go Wave Guardian Strider or whatever, Wave Guardian Cloudblazer will draw your deck and gain you infinite life. Wave Guardian Prosperous Pirates will make infinite mana, so you can start casting all your threats whenever you draw them. But really, the big key draw for me, like changing the deck in the way it is Gaia's Revenge. I actually think Gaia's Revenge is actually a really hard to beat card right now. Like outside of like Edict effects or Wrath effects, which are very few. There are very few going on. This card is pretty much unbeatable. You can't just block it all day if you want to. But even like things like Stormcaller's Boon can kind of just like get around that. And you only need a couple of hits with that. You can't be countered, and the haste are both relevant, and like it's sort of like pseudo hexproof side effect. Altered Ego is kind of in the same boat where you just start copying your Gaia's Revenges. I've definitely done that, and it can become even bigger than the old Gaia's Revenge because it has this like X ability where you can like kind of grow it with the X cost. But you still have like kind of, I think these are the 2 most broken cards to bring in for Hypergenesis: Burn, Hellkite, and Blazing Archon. They're just like effects that can't be repeated in any sort of way from any other sort of card. But yeah, so we talked about kind of like the main deck, how it's just still a Hypergenesis at its core, but not as broken. It's doing one of the worst things I don't like to do as Hypergenesis, as a full-on Hypergenesis combo, which is attacking for the win. And most of the times it is going to happen where you're attacking for the win. But we're kind of at the stage where everyone's just kind of wise to turn 3 play, so everyone's gonna like hold up 3 mana. So you just kind of have to like play a mid-range game. That's pretty much how I've built it. So let's say that your opponent is playing blue and is like, or maybe like, basically the colors I'm worried about are blue, black, and white in that order. Blue for counter spells, white for silence effects, and black for memory side effects. So what do you do against that? Well, here's where the sideboarding comes in. We're just going full mid-range, and I'm going to tell you how I do it. So cards that I'd usually pour out are all this, all the Cascade spells, all the Hellkites, because I can't really cast them, and basically some number. It's actually a mix of like Blazing Archon, or you can mix up like Stormcaller's Boon that, because Stormcaller's Boon is still pretty good. It just gives your creatures flying, and sometimes you just need that push to kind of kill your opponent. So basically, these 15 cards coming for these 15 cards, which are Elvish Piper, which is kind of like an amulet, but a little more synergistic with the other cards I'm dealing with. The 3-answer Cloud Blazer, so just kind of like draw your deck, or draw more cards in kind of that mid-range slot. Simic Signet to kind of ramp yourself a little bit. So even if you keep like some boons in, you can hit the Simic Signets, which are just fine. It's just a ramp spell in the end. Urban Evolution for more draw calling effects and a little ramp effect. Prophet Crucifix, which helps you cast your creatures on their turn. Also combos with Elvish Piper, as the Prophet untaps all your lands and creatures, so you kind of get like 2 big creatures a turn if you want. And yeah, that's it. So like, I'm just basically trying to wave people out, and if the wave doesn't work, then I'm trying to guide to avenge them. That's pretty much it. Wave on its own is a good card. It's just like, a solid removal spell all around. And yeah, I've played a couple of matches today. I'm trying to keep it under wraps a little bit, but I've been actually mostly pleased with this kind of configuration where you're just kind of, they're just trying to more side you, and it's like, all right, let me name like Bogard Hellkite. Well, it's not in your deck anymore. Oh my god, what's happening? And so it's been really fun to try to like, play the old switcheroo on people. And I think it's pretty good. I think just jamming 2 different combos in your deck seems a little worse, but in the end, I think it's good enough where you can trick a bunch of people. And the funny thing about it is, let's say you like win game 1, you can't just like hyper them out. And then game 2, they kind of get wise to you, and they kind of see your deck. And then you can, game 3, you can switch up a game plan. You can just go back to like Genesis way or like a wave way. It's just hard. It's hard for people to like really get around all this. I think it'll work. The best part about this deck is that you're able to reasonably cast your threats now. You see, all these cards right here are incredibly castable with their mana base. And we still have the fast mana in like Ruins of Trocare and Crystal Vein, so the Geyser Edge can come really early, and that's just a KO for most decks, especially like the pure control decks are starting to pop up a little bit. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to play this. We're gonna be playing the tournament tonight. I'm actually not streaming. I wanted to mention that a little bit about that. I'm big on streaming. I really loved streaming on Twitch, but 2 things. One, right now, Twitch's kind of a little buggy right now. And 2, my internet's just like really bad. If you don't know how like streaming works, basically, for the most part, it's just like really like generalization. But mostly your upload speed is the thing that really matters when you stream. And my upload speed, since this Hurricane Irma's come around, has been really bad. I don't understand why. I've had to pretty much call my internet provider pretty soon, but it's been really bad. It's been really like choppy. And the last tournament stream I did, it went well, except it was just like really choppy in some parts, and I only want to give like high quality videos entertainment. So committed just like putting videos on YouTube and just trying to do that. So the tournament's gonna start in about like 15-20 minutes. So I'm gonna just stop right here, and then I will join you back for round 1. Let's have some fun playing the old switcheroo game with some Elvish Pipers and Simic Signet.